So when I was 17 years old, I got a summer job selling cutlery, and I was not very good at this, but I kept trying. So one day I went on a sales call to this house, and they actually ended up purchasing some cutlery for me. And I was so excited that as I backed out of their driveway, I ran over their fence. Um, so here's what happened. The father said, "You have two choices. You can either buy me a new fence or you can fix it." And since the total sum of my money at that moment was what I had just earned from the sale of the cutlery, I decided my best option was to fix the fence. And this began a week-long project. And so the first thing I did was assess the damage. There were bent and broken pieces. And so I said, "Where's the nearest hardware store?" So eventually I found the hardware store. There was no GPS back then, the dark ages. Turns out they didn't have all the parts I needed, and the parts they did have were the wrong size or shape. So I went back to the father and I explained what happened, and he told me about another hardware store that was farther away but had more parts. So I went there, I found other parts I needed that were also not quite right. So by this time, I think the father was sort of equal parts exasperated and amused. And so he gave me the name and address of a machinist who could rethread some of the metal parts and make everything fit together. So I found this person and thus began another adventure. And in the end, I did rebuild the fence, and I learned a very valuable lesson: never become a data scientist.